I think we are live. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see all of you. Prep for it, Robert, Bob, welcome. Griffin, good to see you, my man. Stuck, what's up, buddy? At the beginning of a live stream? No. He says, good morning, JC. I'll be in and out of the chat. I'm helping a friend with some stuff. No problem, man. Thank you for dropping by, brother. Good to see you. Gotta love Thailand. Greg, good morning. Mark, same to you. It's good to see everybody rolling in, man. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. The YouTube algorithm really likes it for some reason. Like, I know, pun intended. So today we're going to talk about something pretty important. Many news articles have released statements saying that Thailand is considering, and this is the big thing. I want to make sure we stay in the facts. Hey, good morning, Ross. Good to see you, bud. I want to make sure we stay factual on this. But there are multiple news sources. There are multiple lawyers in Thailand that have said that Thailand is looking at. Okay, so they're not nothing set in stone yet. The policy, to the best of my knowledge, has not been approved at this point, but this is something that they're taking very seriously, and I hope that you guys get something out of this. By the way, Ross has a YouTube channel too. You can go check out and subscribe if you like his content. Go check it out. So what are they doing? Well, they're proposing a plan to let people re-enter the country. In other words, Thailand would reopen its borders to people that have been vaccinated. And I'm going to say that word and hope that YouTube understands that I'm talking about a policy made by a government or is in consideration by a government. This is not my words. This is not a theory. These are facts. Anthony, what's up, man? Good to see you. Lyle, how you doing, buddy? Philthos, what's up, man? DoMoreLife, the only remaining source for facts in the world. Thanks, Philthos. I appreciate that. And real quickly, for my members only people, I have a new video out for you. I believe it's coming on Tuesday. And it will be part 2 of the behind the scenes shoot. You will be very pleased, I can assure you. If you saw part 1, get ready for part 2. Hello, Joshua. Good to see you, man. So Thailand is considering, we hope that they approve of letting people who have been vaccinated bypass the ASQ. ASQ stands for Alternative State Quarantine, in case you didn't know. So when we refer to ASQ on this channel, that's what we're referring to. Good morning, Alderman Asia. They are considering a proposed plan that will give people who have been fully vaccinated, whether it's the 1 magic shot or 2 magic shots, the opportunity to come to Thailand and not have to go through that 14-day ASQ or that 14-day quarantine. Why is that so important? A lot of people ask, well, it's, you know, all the countries are doing it, blah, blah, blah. Here's why it's so important. Sorry, I didn't have time to get down my green juice this morning before we started. The reason it's so important is the thing, and we've talked about this in multiple live streams. So if you're new to live streams, this is the first time you're hearing it. This is why, this is one of the reasons that Thailand is suffering, the tourism industry is suffering so bad. And I'm even going to read you an article about how bad it was in January when the quote unquote, you know, when they had the last breakout or whatever. But the tourism industry is suffering so bad simply because people don't have time to spend 14 days in an ASQ. They just don't have time to stay in one spot and spend all the money it takes for the quarantine to come into Thailand. Thailand has realized that, I believe. I certainly know that the tourism industry part of the CCSA, and well, maybe not CCSA, but the Thailand Tourism Authority has certainly realized that, and that is why, hey, Thai guy, they are definitely looking at releasing this 14-day stay that you have to go through in order to then be able to participate in activities outside of your ASQ zone, whether that's a golf course or a hotel or whatever the case may be. They now have a villa resort option. We'll talk a little bit about that in this video for the 14-day quarantine if you have to have it. But if you're coming from another country and you're vaccinated, what the tourism industry is saying, why do you need to be in that 14-day window? And the answer is, according to the tourism industry, you don't. So they're going to be pushing for Thailand to let people who have had the magic shots and who are vaccinated. Usually I don't use these terms on YouTube, just so you guys know, but I did a test run and everything was fine. I'm not going to overwhelm myself with, and I encourage you in the chat not to overwhelm the chat with the terms that we don't normally use, but I just wanted to let everybody know that's why I'm using them today, because this is not a discussion on a made-up story. It's not a made-up story. It's a fact that the government of Thailand is looking at letting people in the country without having to go through a quarantine if they have been vaccinated. That would be the best thing in the world to revive the tourism industry here in Thailand. It would absolutely, I believe, the Thailand tourism industry would flourish, and it would flourish quickly. Hey, Frank, good to see you, bud. I'll message you later about your message. So let me start with some news. Let's just start with some news. Well, let me tell you what I did yesterday. Yesterday, I took a day trip to Pattaya. And I took a day trip down there because I wanted to see if it was as bad as everybody says that it is, if it was still dead and everything was closed. Now, yesterday was a holiday, so there were some places that were closed, but for the most part, there were a ton of people in Pattaya yesterday. I mean, a ton. Like, the video doesn't even do it justice, because by the time I was getting ready to leave, which was around 6 p.m., I think, I left around 5:45 or 6 p.m. All right, Greg. But I got ready to leave around 6 p.m. and the roads were starting to be full of traffic. I haven't seen Second Road and Beach Road in Pattaya full of traffic in months. I mean, months. It's all good stuff. I'll catch you up today, man. I know you're busy, but we're going to catch up on pretty much all the stuff that's going on today. And tomorrow's live stream is going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about some ideas and talk more about some of the facts that are going on surrounding this topic as well. Because tourism in Thailand is far... I think that Thailand is starting to realize that tourism is far more valuable than they initially realized. Even yesterday, there were 10,000 people, it's estimated 10,000 people that visited Koh Larn, which is the island directly off the shore of Pattaya. My man, thank you for getting the PayPal started today. $10 from New York Frank. I appreciate that. Has not come through on my email and probably won't. I don't know why my email doesn't work like the rest of my stuff does. Maybe I should change. Thank you very much, Frank. I appreciate that. $10 PayPal, because absolutely enormously beneficial for the channel. The travel fund is depleted. I think Robert put up posts, please help the channel travel fund if you can. And there's the link. The link is also posted at the top of the screen. So we'll see what happens with that. I changed over hoping to get the email from the PayPal so I could show you guys, because I like to show you, that way you don't think I'm bluffing about getting money. But anyway, thank you, Frank. I appreciate that, bro. Prep for it says, this is great news. At least the Thai government's talking about it. Wow. There's a $20 PayPal. Good guys. Good guys. Thank you so much. The channel fund is down to, was down to $19. So you guys are getting it done now. Now that one came through immediately. I'll cover his name up, but I'll show you that the $20 just came through. I don't know why this one came through on the email, the other one didn't. $20 right there. Thanks, sir. 10 from Frank. That makes 30, and I appreciate that. The goal would be 100, but that's just, that's our usual goal. You definitely want to become a channel member if you're not already, because there's some exclusive content on there and about to be a whole bunch more. Now, let me jump back into Pattaya. The reason I have hope for tourism is there were a lot of expats there. I saw a lot of expats in Pattaya. I saw some that I knew, many that I didn't know. There are people coming in from around the world. Okay. If you guys didn't hear about the Chilean guy that got kicked in the face by the motorbike taxi driver in Pattaya a couple nights ago, trust me, they're coming in from all over the world. And it's a good thing. Again, once they release the ASQ and the quarantine falls off, then you're going to have tourism back in Thailand. It's going to be a very, very big deal again, and I can't wait. Filtho says, starting a letter writing campaign to the Thai PM. $500 flight vouchers would help jumpstart tourism too. Just saying. Yes, it definitely would. It definitely would. Speaking of flight vouchers, Air Asia, I was informed this morning that Air Asia has restarted their program. It's a little bit more expensive now. It's for domestic travel. So when you get to Thailand, I'll explain more of that tomorrow when I have time to do some research on that. Jay East, what is up, my brother? Good to see you. Thank you for jumping in the chat. I genuinely appreciate that. Now, let's look at some of the news coming out of, coming out of Pattaya and other areas, other tourist areas. First of all, I want to read. Oh, I got another 10. I got $10.80 from Craig. Oh, Craig, there's Craig. He said, he said, always said no pain, no gain. That's absolutely right. 100%. I agree. He says rock and roll. I love it, man. I'll cover up your whole name there. Let me scroll down a little bit so it covers up the bottom part too. Cover up your whole name there and 10 in there. We're doing great today, guys. This is a good start. It's a very good start. Very good start. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're going to do some deep dives and hope that the information is valuable enough to receive some more. So let me read this about yesterday. This was about the account that this has to do. This is what happens when you have when people aren't free to travel the country. Okay. The Bank of Thailand, the headline reads, Thailand's economy significantly worsens in January after a new wave of the illness emerged last year. Bank of Thailand report. So this is from the PattayaNews.com, and I'll just read this to you. The Bank of Thailand, BOT, revealed yesterday, February 25th, that national economic statistics in January has proved that Thailand's economy had been significantly affected by a new spread that saw multiple restrictions and government ordered business closures in many provinces through December and January. According to the reports, private consumption had worsened in all spending categories, as well as overall household purchasing power in line with consumer confidence. This was due to the long-term strict disease control measures in many provinces. The tourism sector also severely contracted due to the current international travel restrictions and domestic travel restrictions that were put in place during January for several tourism-dependent provinces, especially Chiang Mai, which is the home of Pattaya. Let me finish this article, then I'll get your comments. On the contrary, the export of goods, excluding gold products, had gradually expanded in line with the direction of demand of overseas trading partners. Government spending has continued to expand with slight increasing growth due to capital expenditure, while private investment has slowed down due to the lower level of business confidence during this time. Food and beverages and automotive manufacturing have also been significantly affected in January, as the number of foreign tourists has tremendously decreased compared to the same period last year due to the border closure and travel restrictions in Thailand. And basically it goes on to say, as the situation seems to be improving, so will the economy, and that just goes hand in hand. That's just to give you a little idea of how much the tourism sector plays in Thailand. Anon says, howdy from Dubai. I hope everybody's doing well. Howdy to you, Anon. And I hate that I didn't get a chance to see you yesterday, bud, but I had to go down there. I recorded 4 videos yesterday for you guys in Pattaya, and we're going to be publishing those this coming week. Griffin says, my wife and I got our first shot this week. My arm's a little sore. Good for you, bud. Good for you. Mark says, champagne for opening without ASQ potentially. I don't know what that is, but it sounds expensive. So if everybody likes it, go for it, Mark. Serious part of the GDP in Thailand. Yeah, Jay, it really is. It really is a serious part of the GDP over here. Let me get back to some other news here, and just give me a sec, guys. Oh, this is a major. Hey, Adam, good to see you, man. It is what it is, JC. I'll catch you in a couple of months when I'm back. Definitely, Anon. I hope you had a wonderful trip, man. I really do. From Facebook, it looked like you had a good trip anyway. So this is kind of a huge step for Thailand. What I'm getting ready to tell you, it's kind of a huge step for them in terms of confidence in letting people back in the country. Even though this is not technically letting people back in the country without the ASQ, it's definitely not that. It's a good sign. It's a move in the right direction. And I want to read you the headline, then I'm going to read you the story, but this is important. Thailand opens for international aircrafts for transit in major international airports effective next month. So that should be March. One hungry traveler, $10 PayPal from him. Thank you so very much, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Very, very, very much. One hungry traveler. $10. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to all who have contributed today. This has been a wonderful Saturday thus far. I really, really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. So, Anon says, only bad part was leaving. Got my townhouse, got my car, got my Thai bank account, so it was productive. hey man, you got everything you needed, really. So when you come back, you'll be set. You should be. That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you, man. Really, I'm happy for you. Very, very happy for you. Good job. All right. Thailand opens for international. Got to flip back over to it. International aircrafts for transit in major international airports effective next month. Let me read you the story, then you'll understand why this is so big. This is from the tpnnational.com. That's the source on this. Quoting, the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand has published permission for international aircraft with passengers to transfer or change aircraft in the country effective March the 1st. The latest announcement is in accordance with the resolution of the Center for the CCSA on February 22nd as one of the financial solutions to help airline business globally, according to Transport Minister, I can't say his name, but according to the Transport Minister here. By virtue of Section 27 and Section 28 of the Act, Air Navigation 1954, Director of the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand, therefore, issued the announcement to allow aircraft operating on an international flight in which passengers transfer or transit under the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand. It's going to happen starting March the 1st. The notification, the Pattaya News noted, will allow transit passengers to make a transfer flight in Thailand here's the thing, and to wait in the provided areas of Suvarnabhumi the big international airport, both there are international, but the bigger airport in Bangkok, and Don Mueang airports, which is also in Bangkok. Those in transit, however, will have certain limitations and rules in place, including not being allowed to visit any shops or the freedom of leaving a specific holding/transit area. The exact full list of limitations has not yet been published. There is, however, a maximum limit of a 12-hour stay in the airport. Transit passengers will still need to show a fit-to-fly certificate and proof of a recent negative test and health insurance, according to the CCSA. They will be required to wear a mask at all times. That to me is a big announcement because Thailand's taken a step out to allow some things to happen that they normally would not allow it to happen. That to me, that's Thailand kind of jumping back in the groove a little bit and saying, okay, let's try this and see if we have some success. We all knew that this was going to be a trial and error program, getting tourists back into Thailand when this all kicked off and started. So for those reasons, that makes me that much more hopeful. Let's see. Yes, that part about Anon says that part about transit aircraft is huge. It is huge. It really is huge. And I think that's a big step in the right direction for Thailand. Anthony says perhaps there's a chance for me to go in August. Could be. It now seems realistic that an August to November timeline could be realistic for international travelers. For international tourism, Thailand may reopen its borders for those who have been vaccinated, and that's a fact. That's what all the news outlets have said, and I am hoping and somewhat praying that is exactly what happens, because Thailand's economy is crushed at the moment. And for those of you that don't know, the GDP, Thailand's, let me back up, 20 to 22% of Thailand's GDP comes from tourism. I I would assume that doesn't include all the subcategories that come from tourism, like like the food vendors, for example, that are on the street. When you get tourism over here, there are a lot of people that are excited to eat. If you've never been to a Southeast Asian country before, they want to eat street food for the first time. Man, can you imagine the money that's putting in their pockets? I mean, it's pretty cool. When I did my walkthrough video yesterday of Pattaya. Okay, it includes Beach Road, Pattaya Beach, LK Metro, Walking Street, Soy Bacow, Tree Town. It includes all of those areas, all the main areas where people would be. It's kind of a lengthy video, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. I'm going to try to drop some pictures in there too, so you guys can see, some still shots, and try to do some different things with some videos, because this channel is growing with subscribers. Just we didn't have a lot of luck last week with the on the way to Ko Chang videos, and so I'm going to drop some Pattaya videos this week. Go back to Ko Chang next week, most likely. Anthony says perhaps there is a chance for me. Oh yeah, definitely. That chance could exist. We will know when the Thai government decides on that issue. I think it's, I don't want to give an opinion here, but I would say it's a fact that it's necessary for Thailand to make a move like this, and to make a move like reopening tourism to people that have been vaccinated, because the economy over here is just suffering too bad. I just read about it contracting so much. It was already contracted before January. That's what you have to realize. It was severely contracted, and with December and January of last year, or December of last year and January this year, it contracted even more, and it just can't. It can't continue to contract like that. And tourism is a good way to get Thailand back to expanding its economy. Anon says the international departure area of Savannah was just sad. Almost everything was closed. I can imagine, but I think it's going to be. I really hope that there's going to be a huge boost. And Greg says would be a huge boost to the economy and general mood of the Thai people. That's true. GDP is one thing, but hope is also very important. I couldn't agree with that statement more. The hope that will give local business owners, just tourist businesses in general, people that own multiple private boat rentals, the ferry system, the transportation system around here would get back to a normal schedule. So buses that normally leave every hour would leave every hour. Not, like I was in Ko Chang, where they normally have, 4 ferries a day that go out, and they only had one. Unfortunately, due to my lack of planning the return trip, I got caught up in some in some pricey ways to get home. But I learned my lesson, and that's cool. Anon says the C test part is reasonable, in my humble opinion, and 12 hours of insurance could be built in the plane ticket cost, but the fit to fly, that's just dumb. I mean, I would think you would have to have the fit to fly for like where you were going. So I would think that's more of an airline thing, I think, than a country thing. I think I could be wrong. You guys that have been through it, you can tell me. I have no problem being corrected, and I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, for sure. But yeah, the 12 hours of insurance could be built out of plane ticket costs. Also, the insurance could be if you have traveler's insurance of some kind, then you're insured, right? So you won't have to worry about a separate policy or anything like that. And I says, only place to get street food in Savannah Boomi is before security in the basement. That's true. Craig says, Craig Croak Asian Lifestyle says, I see tourism opening up to test the waters after vaccinations for Thailand and the Philippines. I agree with you 100%, Craig. I think that is that's the basis of the chat we're having today, and I could not agree more. I think it will be extraordinarily beneficial to Thailand. I hope that's what happens. We want to see the tourism industry come back. I want to see some of my friends come over that currently cannot because everybody runs into the same problem. All right. They don't, let's say you get a month's vacation. Well, if you come right now, you're going to have to spend half that month in ASQ over here in Thailand, right? You're not going to be able to go anywhere or do anything. Even if you go to a golf or a villa, you're still confined to that space. And then you've got 2 weeks to explore Thailand. Trust me when I tell you 2 weeks is not enough time to explore Thailand. Okay. So that's a whole nother issue. Adam says, are the bars and restaurants back open in Thailand now? For the most part, yes. There are still certain alcohol bans in certain places. Integrity Legal did a good video on the alcohol bans and how bad they hurt the economy yesterday. Got kind of an op-ed yesterday, and you might want to check that video out sometime. But it's, to the best of my knowledge, they are. And if you're enjoying this content, guys, and you want more of it, hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So does YouTube. Anon says, the surprising thing about opening up for people with the V is that the PM actually said something about it off the cuff. Yeah, I read that, and that was the statement. This is part of the, remember, guys, we had a live stream about 2 months ago, and we were talking about the Thailand welcoming people with open arms that were vaccinated. But that's what we were talking about it then. So hopefully now it's actually going to happen, and that's what I'm enthusiastic and excited about. Jay says, I heard you can buy the insurance from companies in Thailand before you come. You can. That is definitely doable. Chiang Mai says, as an airline employee, you'd be surprised what condition people show up to try to fly in. I agree with the need to see a fit to fly cert. Well, as an airline employee, I would take your word for it over mine or anybody else's, Chiang Mai. So, thank you for sharing that piece of information with us. And I am somewhat aware of what you're saying. I've seen people show up to fly in some crazy things before. Autumn says, and it goes without saying that once Thailand opens, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, and Vietnam will follow. I agree with that too. I think they will follow right along in the footsteps, and you'll start seeing Southeast Asia come back to life, and it'll be a blessing, such a blessing. It'll be so good to be able to travel back and forth again. You'll be able to see people. You'll be able to see some businesses come back. You'll be able to see some industries like teaching. You guys don't know I'm a full-time teacher here, English teacher here in Thailand. So teachers that are here right now, they can't leave their job even if they wanted to, because you can't fly out of the country and fly back in to get your non-B visa. So and that's a visa that they can't do in country. So you have to fly out of the country and fly back in. Well, if you flew out now, you'd have to fly back in and do an ASQ, and nobody has the money to do that. Not teachers here in Thailand. We don't make. Trust me, we don't make any money. It's just the being in Thailand and being in the culture and being around the people, that kind of thing that makes it worthwhile. But you're right, Autumn. I agree. And I said that Adam West only closed now in Samut Sakan. Very good information, Anon. Thank you. Matt Tech, what's up, bud? He says, you, Jeremy, I'm halfway through the back schedule. Good for you, bud. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Always glad to hear that people are getting closer and closer to where they need to be, so they can move forward. Craig says he is ready to come meet you and vice versa. Absolutely. Same, Craig. Cheryl says, hi, Jeremy. So just to understand, one can come to Thailand now, quarantine for 2 weeks at ASQ, apply online and complete required health forms. I'll be staying long term. Okay, you're okay with quarantine. To the best of my knowledge, you are correct, Cheryl. However, to make sure that there are no bumps in the road, don't try to do it yourself. Don't try to line up because it has to be on a certain time schedule as far as the testing and then the fit to fly cert and the hotel that you're going to be staying at or golf course, whatever you choose to say. Please seek the advice of a legal professional, and I would recommend Integrity Legal for that. We have a channel member here that hasn't been in a couple live chats because he's enjoying his new life here in Thailand. But he used Integrity Legal, and the prices were very reasonable, and they made sure that his trip to Thailand went without a hiccup. So I would strongly encourage the use of a legal professional. You can call Integrity Legal and get a free consultation over the phone. You don't have to pay anything for the consultation. Then you can decide whether or not you want to use their services. I encourage you to do so. Filtho says, opinion question. Is there any indication that Thai policies on travel restrictions, hotspot, L downs, QV, etc., will become proactive and not reactive to outbreak? That's a good question. I do have a proactive response. Give me just a second to find it, Filthos, where Thailand has made a proactive move in that direction. First, AstraZeneca vaccine doses arrive in Thailand, so the AstraZeneca were here. By the way, foreign tourists are now required to download the Thailand Plus mobile application prior to arrival. I'll tell you what that means in just a minute. Let me try to find the proactive that the proactive steps Thailand was taking. Let's be on a different one. 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. So I'm answering the question, is there any indication that, yeah. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Here we go. Okay. So this is a proactive step that Thailand has made, in my opinion. It says 4 major tourist destinations now listed as top priority for vaccine distribution in Thailand. Okay. One is Bangkok. I'm sorry, this is from Bangkok. This is the Pattaya News, but it's reporting from Bangkok. 4 popular economic boosting and tourist destinations, which are Mark, thank you for the $10 PayPal, my friend. We're chugging along, guys. We might hit 100 today. That would be really nice. Really, really nice. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'll cover up his full name, but I got the email here, and there is the $10 PayPal. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And here is this was the one from Frank this morning that you guys didn't get to see. There you go. All right. Thank you again. I really appreciate it, guys. Really, really, really appreciate it. Really helping the channel out a lot. So, for popular economic boosting, this is Thailand being proactive in my period of Filthos. 4 popular economic boosting and tourist destinations, which are Chiang Mai, Phuket. Chiang Mai is where Patti is, by the way, and Jomtien are all in Chiang Mai province. Chiang Mai, Phuket, Surat Thani, which includes popular tourist island, the popular tourist island Koh Samui, and Chiang Mai are now prioritized for vaccine distribution, along with 9 other provinces that have had significant cases of the illness to receive the first 200,000 shots of the vax that came in within 3 days of their arrival, which they came in on Wednesday. So today is Saturday here in Thailand, and it's early Saturday morning. That's an example of them being proactive, in my opinion. And I think the more I like your way of thinking, because I think the more proactive Thailand is about this and the less reactive they are. They've already got the reactive part down. They understand what to do if something happens. They react quickly. They've got all these monitoring apps and everything else to help keep people safe. So I don't see that as being a problem, but the proactive part has been maybe somewhat of an issue, and that's just an example of it for sure. If you hadn't hit the thumbs up button yet, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Stuck in Florida says, Matt Tech, hello, that's great. It's looking like summer before I'll qualify here. Uh-oh. Anon says it Filthos, the Focus LD actually worked very well this last time, in my opinion. I agree with that. I think it worked, but it comes with so many consequences. It just does. It works, but what they do works. But the economic and the personal consequences to people, it's just not. I'm not sure that, or they're starting to see that it's not worth it. Ross says Chiang Noi. I love that nickname, Baby Elephant. That's pretty cool. Robert Mack, what's up, bud? Good to see you. Filtho says to Anon, since I want to tour around a lot of different parts of the country, I fear getting trapped somewhere for a protracted time. I understand that completely, Filthos. Hopefully, if this situation with the you're welcome in, as long as you've had the magic shot and you can prove it, then that'll take care of some of the restricted travel, which I don't think there really is a lot of restricted travel anymore. Hang on, guys. I'm having a problem seeing my toolbar over here, and I just went through a whole bunch of comments that I missed. Whole bunch of comments. Yeah, okay. People saying hi. Hey, there's Roger. I was just talking about him. Roger, I was just talking about your transfer over to from America to Thailand, and Roger's having a good time, guys. If you don't believe me, just friend him on Facebook. Trust me, he's having a good time. But I was Cheryl T actually had a question about what she should do, and I recommended that she do the same thing you did, which was contact Integrity Legal. Ross says, if you are here, today was a good day to move money. Dollar up almost half a baht today. That's great, because I'm not even going to tell you how much money it cost me to move money on Thursday. I mean, on Yeah, Thursday. That's a huge move for a day. Yes, it is. I agree, Ross. Um, Roger says that was me. Anon says Filthos didn't impact me being except being able to go to Nakhon Sawan. Couldn't go there. Only temp check I had at a boundary was going into Udon Thani, maybe, or is that a different place? I had still here in Bangkok. We still have temp checks and body scans in some places. In fact, when I went into Central, is it Central Festival in Pattaya? No, it wasn't Central Festival. It was the small mall, the very small mall there on the. It's close to Hooters and on Beach Road in Pattaya yesterday. I went and they had the full body scan. I walked in and I'd been walking around. I was so hot and sweaty. I guess my temperature was up a little bit, and the body scanner went red, and I was like, oh, oh. And the guy goes, no, no, no. And I stood there for another second and went down 1/10 of a degree. And he was like, oh, okay, no problem. It was interesting to see how those things work. And I says, I just uninstalled the Thai China and more China apps. Don't need my location tracked anymore. Yeah, that's true. Ross says, and I'm with JC, and I drove to go Chiang. We had one temp check along the way. That's true. We did. We only had one temp check, and we drove a long way. So we took the scenic route, and it was a well, even when we were on Ko Chang, we still had the whole. I think the whole trip was only one temp check. Lyle says 41 watching, only 25 thumbs up. I know, man. Where's all the thumbs up at? Give us some thumbs up, guys. We need it. We need it. Thanks for pointing that out, though, Lyle. Ross says the temp check gives people a false sense of security. It can. Yeah, it can. MedTech says, don't make me angry, Mr. McGee. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. No insult, Roger, but I always think of that when I see your name, sir. That's funny. Chatham-Bury along the coastal highway. Yep, that's where we got that temp check at. And says, agree, Ross. AC on the forehead makes it completely void. Jay says, Roger McGee, what did Integrity Legal do to assist you? That's a good question for Roger. Very good question. Matt Tech says, hi, stuck. Sorry, missed your message. Roger says, communicated with the consulate. This is what I assume this is what Integrity Legal did for him. And if you're thinking about coming over, these are the people to call and listen to Roger's message here. It says, communicated with the consulate, had all the paperwork they could done in advance. I still had to get all my documents together, but they were there to answer all my questions. I looked at it as they were an insurance policy for me. If anything went wrong, they could help. Good point, Roger. Very good point. Greg says, hit the warm and fuzzy button. That's the thumbs up button. Absolutely. I love that button. Jay says, thanks, Roger. Helps to enlist the help of experts like Integrity for peace of mind. 100% agree. That's what I recommend for everybody. What's up, Agent Unscripted? Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by. Agent Unscripted has a channel too. He's in Vietnam right now, and he's got some good videos out of Vietnam. If you're wondering what Ho Chi Minh City is looking like these days, I encourage you guys to go over there. And I says, Ross around Chiang Mai versus. I don't want to get into that. Stuck in Florida says wrong channel for that question. Sticking by. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. I love my moderators. You guys just stay on top of everything. James, what's up, man? Any fitness instructors still on Beach Road? Loaded. Fitness instructors, drinking companions, just pouring back in the city everywhere. some of the 7-Eleven, the 7-Eleven employees got off work and decided that they're also fitness trainers. I saw that happen a few times. It was very interesting. I recorded a very candid video about. Well, I'll leave it. I got some good videos coming out this week, and then I'm gonna try to intermix some of those with the Coach Chang videos as well. So we'll see what happens. But I did record some good content yesterday, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Greg says, last summer here in Vegas, they had little waiting areas where your skin could cool down before your temp check. That's actually a good thing because it gives you a more accurate reading. Ross says, James, there is always a fitness instructor looking to offer classes. That's true. That's very true. Stuck says Asia Unscripted. Yeah, that's Asia Unscripted's channel. You can go over there, give him a subscribe, and like on his videos. Same thing with Ross. Ross has got some pretty good content over there too. Jane Noy says, Greg, I'm also in Las Vegas. That's funny. Stick and Box says, nice, be there soon. Cool. Jay says 7-Eleven workouts. LOL. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And I said the subject trying to be brought up, aerobics teachers, etc., sounds like good content for a members only stream. Yes, by the way, members only live stream tomorrow at 8 a.m. Do not forget that. Members only live stream tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I put that in the members only post yesterday. There's a link to Ross's channel. Thank you, Stuck. But there will be a members only live stream tomorrow at 8 a.m. my time, Bangkok time. So it'll be 8 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Members only live stream tomorrow. Don't forget, guys. If you want to be a channel member and are currently not a channel member, it's extraordinarily cheap. It's $2.99 a month, and there's more and more content being put in the members only area. I suggest anybody that's not a member that wants to be a member, at the bottom of this video, hit join, and it will tell you the steps to take. The only part of the membership program that we're not utilizing right now is the email, and that's because we found it to be just ineffective and not quite worth it. So if you're not a channel member, now is the time to join. And you can be a part of the members only live stream tomorrow at 8 a.m. Guys, please don't forget that. Make sure to check the community tab because it's on there in the members section that I sent yesterday. All right. Filtho says 7-Eleven staff are renowned for their fitness. 7-Eleven version of Walmart having the government subsidize their employees here in the U.S. I like that. Ben Kane 28 says, hi, Jeremy. I had the first jab of the Pfizer yesterday. Hopefully that's one step closer to stepping foot in Thailand, quarantine free. Hopefully Thailand's working on it, and we hope that Thailand gets to a point where they vote, they go to the cabinet, they vote it in. Of course, there are some doctors in opposition to that, but there's always going to be opposition. There just will be. However, we love the idea, and we think that it's a good idea for people to for the Thai government. We think it's a really good idea for them to consider what the Tourism Authority of Thailand has put before them, which is the if you've had the magic shot, there's really no need for ASQ. Anon says, sadly, I'll be on a plane then, so we'll have to catch the replay. Oh, man, that's terrible. Yeah, sorry about that, bud. But I have to get the, we have at least one live stream a month for channel members. So, tomorrow is the last day of the month here, and got to make sure I get that in. So I'll be getting up early in the morning. We'll do an 8 o'clock members only live stream, and then at 9 we will have a regular DoMoreLife live stream like we're having today. Let's see. Ty Guy Bryce says, I subbed to Age Unscripted because I haven't been back to Vietnam in years. Good. Robert Ann says, become a channel member here to watch members only live stream tomorrow. There's the link for channel membership. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. If anybody's interested, that's a good way to stay up to date with some unique content that I just don't show on this part of the platform, and some very interesting. You still have to remain within YouTube's community guidelines, but with no monetization, the nothing in the member section is monetized. And if you throw an age restriction on there, if it needs to be age restricted, then you're pretty much covered. So lots more in-depth conversations, I would say. Roger says, one thing, if you use integrity, I advise not to travel on the weekend. So if you have problems while traveling, they will be open and you can contact them to help. That is excellent advice, Mr. McGee. Excellent advice. Filtho says, hey, channel membership is not extraordinarily cheap. It's an amazing value. There you go, bud. There you go. That was probably, not the word I was looking for. An amazing value. There you go. Amazing value for channel membership. I like that, Filthos. Good one. Very good. I need to learn how to speak more positively of the things that we do around here. Anyway, Anon says, Roger McGee, really good point that I hadn't considered. I agree. That's a good point. Adam says, opposition doctors must have some shares in. They might. Agent Script is saying thanks. Anon says, very nice. Vistas on members section, JC. I don't know what Vistas is. That may be a Spanish word that I'm not familiar with, but there are some nice high quality images and some other things on there. There's some places to go. I put on there in Bangkok and some other places for certain activities that we wouldn't put on the main channel, just out of respect for YouTube. But there's definitely a reason to be a member for sure. Vista, scenic views. Gotcha. Vistas are viewpoints. Nice things to see. Understood. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. There was a couple more things I wanted to add real quick to the news itself. One second, and I'll get there. Oh, this was the 10,000 visitors flocking to Koh Larn yesterday when I was there. Just trying to be subtle, Jeremy. I understand that. No problem, bud. No problem. More than 10,000 domestic tourists flocked onto Koh Larn on first day of holiday weekend. According to Bali High Pier authorities, which is the pier there at Pattaya. I don't know if I said that right or not. It was Makabucha, a religious holiday, the first of a 3-day long holiday weekend. You have to translate to hillbilly English? Wow. That's Tourists are more confident with domestic travel and with Pattaya safety measures, which has seen no confirmed cases for many days. Chonburi, the province where Pattaya is located, was downgraded by the CCSA Jet Malone, welcome to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoy all the content. Just go to the community tab and you should be able to find members only content right there in the community tab. Anon says he's from North Carolina, not Kentucky. That's a good point, Anon. Let's see. Which was a control zone, blah, 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 blah. Domestic tourists in the thousands were seen waiting at the pier where they took boats to Koh Larn. Koh Larn had been closed for all of January for all of January to non-residents due to the situation here, which also helped restore the natural environment beaches. The island is popular with both foreign and domestic tourists. However, with Thailand having tighter border controls at this time, primarily only domestic tourists can visit at this time. That's without going through another 2-week quarantine. More than 10,000 people checked in using the tracking applications and sign-in measures, according to the pier officials, before traveling to Koh Larn, with hygienic measurements such as temperature checks, hand sanitizer usage, and wearing a face mask. The pier officials were optimistic that this trend of heavier domestic tourism visitors to Koh Larn, which is nearly entirely reliant on tourism for their economy, will continue over the weekend, and I hope it does too. So that gives you a little bit of hint of how motivated people are to travel here in Thailand, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really excited that they had those kind of numbers yesterday. I could see the cars starting to back up in that area. I could really see that there were a lot of there was just a lot more traffic yesterday than there was the last time I was there. Even during the day, there was a lot of time. Stuck says, I grew up in Western North Carolina. Trust me, there's hillbillies there. Yep, hillbillies everywhere. Hillbillies and assholes, they're everywhere. Filtho said, off topic here, but what's up with the floating rock in Thailand? Just heard about it last night. What is it? Supposedly a levitating rock, or more like a flea circus? If I had any indication of what that was, Filthos, I have to look it up, bro. I'm not sure. Somebody will look it up and then they'll give the answer. I don't know. So don't they prefer the term heal people? That's interesting. Where are we on the travel fund for the day, JC? Let's see here. There's a $5 PayPal from James. Thank you, James. Appreciate that very much, sir. We are at 20, 30, 40, 50, 65 minus. We'll leave that last 5 off because there's going to be $5 in fees between all of those. So we're basically at 60. We are $40 away from making 100 for today. That would be awesome, by the way. Usually try to do that over a weekend, but in a day, that would be great. Especially to replenish the account, which was dead before this live stream. So I really appreciate you guys. Really, really, really appreciate you guys doing all that. So another $35-$40 will be good. JE says March 16th, 2020, when the world stopped. Good to see things starting to get going again. Yep, it really is, man. Mark says, do you know if Thailand is distributing the shots as walk-ins, or do they also drive up versions like here in the US? Right now, I'm not sure of exactly how the distribution is going here in Thailand because I'm not a part of it. Like, I don't know when expats will qualify for the shot here. I'm sure we will. I just don't know when. So I'm not 100% sure if it's go to I would imagine you would probably have to go to a hospital, but I think that the way they've divvied it up so far is that they're sending the shots to like frontline healthcare workers, members of the cabinet. They're still in that mode. They haven't gotten to the average citizen mode yet. I don't think. That's my best guess anyway. Roger says I drove from somewhere to Wahan yesterday. First time driving in Thailand. Not as bad as I'd imagined, but still, I never drive in downtown Bangkok. I don't blame you. I have to drive in downtown Bangkok. Thank God it's on a motorbike. Anna says, Roger, driving in Bangkok isn't any worse than a major city. Do it regularly. Just need to focus. Yeah, lots of focus on that for sure. Let's see. Jay says, Anon, except for the motorbikes on your left, right, middle, on the sidewalk, etc. Yeah. The only thing, they implemented here in Bangkok, they implemented you can't put a motorbike on the sidewalk anymore. That lasted for about a month, and now the Grab drivers and taxi drivers are going up and down the sidewalks again. Autumn Asia! $10 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. And thank you again. I appreciate that, man. You spend money like my ex. Here, have a tenner. I'm doing my very, very best. The reason I've spent so much money lately, or the channel funds money lately, is because I've been traveling. And that's a good thing for the channel. It's a good thing for the growth of the channel. It's a good thing for the diversity of the channel, and that's why I've been spending a little bit extra, and why I kind of went all in on travel. I'm hoping I'm going to have 2 weeks off in April, and I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough to do some more serious traveling in April, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I can get to go again somewhere I've never been before and stay, and it'll be awesome. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. Where was I? Anon says, honestly, driving in Chiang Mai on a holiday weekend makes me more nervous than Bangkok. I hear you. But thank you, Autumn Asia, for that super chat. I really appreciate that, bud. Head S says, I'm hyped for going to Thailand after getting my 2 vaccines. They already have a vaccine passport. I have not seen a vaccine passport. I'm not saying you're lying at all. I'm just saying I haven't seen one. And Thailand was talking about it at one point, but they just moved that to the side. There's Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Life is good. I miss being there. Hope for November this year. You should be okay. I'm thinking that by November, things are going to be well underway. Meet up for lunch sometime. Keep up the great vlogs. Very truthful, informing, top blogger you are. Cheers. Thanks so much, Jenny. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And I said, Jay East driving in. That was a ad from Lazada. Jay East ever drive in Istanbul, in Turkey. They turn a 1-lane road into 8 lanes at a stoplight. Wow. Sounds like India. Ross says, I suggest you go to Nakhon Sawan as your next trip. Cool city. Cool. I'll check it out. Roger says, I've been in Istanbul but didn't drive. It was crazy. I probably wouldn't drive in one of those in either India or Turkey until I got really familiar with the driving process there. Anon says, Jace, exactly. Ross says to go north to Chiang Mai. Thought about going north. I don't know. It depends on how much money I have, because I got health insurance to buy in June, and hopefully the Biden bucks come through. I'm not going to be able to buy the phone with the which the phone is very important, by the way, guys. Mine is it has Alzheimer's disease. Half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. But if the Biden bucks come through, I'm just going to set that aside for my yearly insurance payment, which will come up in June, and use it. And then I'll buy the iPhone through AdSense and ad revenue off the channel here. Greg says, have private hospitals been able to purchase the magic shot to sell to people that want to pay for it? I'm looking into that, Greg. I actually started looking into that this weekend. I have not found a definitive answer to that, but I can assure you that I'm looking into it myself, because I want to be one of the guys that has everything under control, the certificate of, hey, I've had it, I'm good, in case I need it for anything. Roger says, I think we're going to Phuket before all the tourists come back. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Roger. I may do the same thing. To be totally honest with you, I may do the exact same thing, because I would like to see Phuket before all the tourists come back as well. And I think if you're one of the people like me that enjoy going to some of these tourist areas that do not currently have tourists in them, I think that window of opportunity is narrowing. I kind of feel that way. I feel like tourism is definitely coming back to Thailand, and international tourism will definitely be coming back to Thailand sooner rather than later. That's my new feeling that I have based upon the information that I've given you in this live stream, and that I've given you, and that's been given to me by news sources within the Thai government and the Thai Tourism Authority. Let's see. Ross says, I wanted to go to Constantinople something, but could not find it on any recent map. Chiang Mai would be cool. Chiang Mai would be cool. And I says, Ross and Rayong, my soon-to-be stepdaughter and step-granddaughter live in Nakhon Sawan. I'm going to have to check that. Let me take a picture of that real quick so I can look it up on Google Maps and find out where it is. Nakhon Sawan. Okay, there we go. I'll take a look at it after the live stream. Check it out. Not yet. Automated says, good one, Ross Ryan. Ed S says, yeah, I don't know if Thailand will use it, but it looks like the app and infrastructure is there. The U.S. is considering it. It's a fair point. Filtho says, Ross, I had the same problem with my trip to Persia. Ooh, I'd like to go to Persia. That'd be awesome. Mark says, are both pharmaceuticals available? Just one, which Johnson & Johnson is up and coming. Yep. To the best of my knowledge right now, I don't want to get into too many details about that, Mark. I don't want to use language specific. But I know that one came from China, and according to the news that I have, there's another shipment that has come from AstraZeneca. So there's been 2 shipments in, according to the Thai news and Thai media. I don't know about, I think Johnson & Johnson, I don't know if Thailand's ordered any of those or not. I have no idea. Ross says to Roger, head north. I can give great road trip route to see some great things along the way. Roger says, okay, Ross, we'll definitely head that way sometime, going everywhere in time. I can imagine, because you've been traveling hard since you've been here, man. Been going around. Yeah, the reason I don't want to give out the reason I don't want to be name specific on that, Mark, is YouTube, not because of Thailand or anything. I want to be sure that everything that I say is factual for YouTube, so that way they can't. There's no chance of demonetizing the video. Very important to me for that not to happen. And if you would like to be involved in a conversation in which you can ask those questions and I can be specific about that, then my suggestion to you is to join up as a channel member and come hang out with us tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bangkok time. And you can ask those questions, and I can give you specifics in that area, because that will not violate anything. I'm not violating a guideline, and I certainly wouldn't be violating an advertiser guideline. Ed says, it looks like people are still having fun in Thailand. Guys are still able to meet girls, just can't go out to clubs, nightlife, etc. Look, Pattaya was open with nightlife last night. They had clubs out. Bangkok, there's clubs, plenty of clubs open here. The nightlife is still in effect. However, there are many parts of it that are not open yet. And Ross and I got a good dose of that on Koh Chang when we were there 2 weeks ago. So it's you can find nightlife in places in Thailand without too much of an issue. However, the nightlife that you find may not be what you expect. Even when I went to Krabi, the nightlife was still there. That was, when was that? November. I went to Krabi, and it was still there. But it's all minimized. Everything's minimized right now. But so yeah, you can still go out and you can drink in just about all the places. That'll be cool. Ross says still. Good luck with that one, bud. Does anybody have any questions on what Thailand's plan is? Because I am confident that Thailand is going to, at some point, they're going to say, look, if you've had the magic shot and everything's properly documented and certified, then we're going to let you in as a regular tourist, and tourism will come back to Thailand sooner rather than later. I'm convinced that, based on facts and based on the factual information from the Thai news media, and also reports from the CCSA and from the Thai cabinet, the government itself. Stuck in Florida says, Phil Ocean Ross, you're killing me. At least you're having a good time, Stuck. Roger says, I went to the Soy Cowboy 3 nights ago. It sucked. Yep, Soy Cowboy is one of those places that is still really suffering. I don't know why. That's not a part of the town that I normally am in for any reason. Just because I live in a different part of Bangkok. But some of the guys I work with frequent that area or live in that area, and they said that it's not anything like it used to be. Anna says, yesterday I drove to Asok Terminal 21. It looked like Soy Cowboy was setting up for evening opening like normal. This was mid-afternoon. Probably. They have a lot more street vendors on Soy Cowboy right now than they do, I think, entertainment. in my opinion. That's just kind of how I feel about the situation. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I did a walkthrough of Soy Cowboy. There's a video on this channel where you can see it. This was pre March 2020, so I'm sure things have changed for sure. J.E. says, Koh Larn, Koh Samet, imagine fairly quiet as well. I would imagine, because Koh Samet, to the best of my knowledge, Ross and I took a trip there as well, and I don't believe there is the quote unquote nightlife on that island. There may be one bar somewhere or something, I don't know, that has the typical nightlife that people refer to. Koh Larn, I'm not sure. Never experienced it. Ross says, it's not exciting nightlife. It feels more like a dive bar these days, just a few staff and even fewer customers. That's fair. Koh Samet is still busy most weekends. And Ross will know he's down in that area. Filtho says, is the sidewalk / road construction along Beach Road finished? I did not see any road construction on Beach Road. So I would think yes. And let me tell you, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beach Road, beautiful. You're going to get to see it in the videos. Beautiful. Walking Street, however, they are doing a ton of work in the middle of the road of Walking Street right now. There's big squares cut out. They're putting in things in the middle of the road. I don't know what's happening there. I did not see, one of the big things that we're talking about on Walking Street is burying the power lines or burying the power cables. Maybe that's what some of this stuff was, but the pictures that I saw of them burying the cables were on the sides of the road, and all the cables were still up. I didn't see anything buried. Maybe they have buried some stuff, but I didn't see any of it. So the Beach Road part, though, Filthos, looks to be finished to me. Jay says, good to hear, Ross. Anon says, Roger McGee, I think they just changed the color of Bangkok from red to orange a day or so. So check again. That could be a very good point. Anon, very good point. Ed S says, I hope they remove ASQ around April or May. Thailand is going to come back to life like never before. I agree with that statement. Might even be a good time to invest in the business there or something. I agree with that statement too. Very true, Ed. That's a good comment. Ross says that is with Thai New Year only 6 weeks away. I expect to see news very soon on the subject. Another good point, Ross. And I thought about that in the back of my mind, kind of just thinking, would that make a difference with the Thai New Year? And I think it will. Ottoman Asia says, Filthos, that reminds me of the first time on Beach Road had only about 1 mile that was paved. Yep, it's much wider. It's much. It just looks newer, but it is newer. But it looks newer. It looks cleaner. I'm trying to think of some other adjectives to describe it. It looked good. It did. It looked good. And as you will see in the video that I put out, that video will probably come out on Monday here, so Sunday night for you guys that are in America. You'll get to see some of that. The beach looked good at the southern end, Greg. The beach looked good. I did see some pictures from the northern end of Pattaya Beach, and it looked like if the pictures were taken yesterday, it looked like there were some issues there, but the southern end of the beach itself was beautiful. It looked great. There were people with jet skis and swimming out in the ocean. It looked great. Anon Amos says, visiting Thailand for the first time later this year. What's your favorite island city? Wow. First time visitor to Thailand, Anonymous. I encourage you to go through this channel and watch a whole bunch of videos because you will find something that you like in Thailand. My favorite city in Thailand to come and visit and just hang out, have a good time, and really have pretty kind of any option available to you want, whether that be dining, nightlife, golf, parasailing, jet skiing, whatever is Pattaya. That's my favorite city to just go hang out in. A lot of people would disagree. I've also, Ross says, talking to you, says go to Krabi. I would agree that Krabi is a great place to go. It also has nightlife and other things that pretty much everything you would want. There's a lot of islands off of Krabi. Railay Beach is just right around the corner from Krabi town, which is an exquisite beach. It depends on your price range, what you're really looking for, what you want to do. But Krabi is another good place to go. If you like city life, Bangkok, of course, would be wonderful. If you want to take advantage of public transportation here, they've extended the light rail or I call it the light rail. It's the BTS, the MRT, and there's a lot of variety here. There's a lot of variety in Pattaya, and there is probably more variety in Krabi, to be honest with you. But that's where you find you could take a long tail boat out to an island, one of the most popular islands. But I would put Krabi, Pattaya, depending on what kind of person you are and what you're actually looking for. Pattaya, Krabi, Koh Chang, if tourism is back and it's open, Koh Chang would be a good place to go. Koh Samet may be a place that you want to go see. That is a nice little island, has a beautiful beach, and it's very clean, very nice, and they have some good food on that island as well. So those are some of my personal favorites, and anybody's welcome to give theirs as well. As a first-time visitor, you will love Thailand, I promise you. And I says, like they say the best way to make a little money in Thailand is to spend a lot of money. That's true. Ed says, I know you work in Thailand, but could you work remotely in the U.S. and get U.S. pay while living in Thailand? Yes, absolutely. But that gets into work permit situations. And you need to have a work permit to do that. Legally, you need to have a work permit to do that, which means you need to be on the right kind of visa and have the work permit. So I would do my research on that. If you want to become a channel member and inquire about that in one of our live streams like we're having tomorrow. By the way, if you're just joining, channel members, $2.99 a month. You can hit the join button below. Live stream tomorrow, 8 a.m. We can address some of that stuff in a little more detail. But that's a good question. It's a good question, Ed. Let's see. Anon says, Ross Young, 100% agree. Kirby has a lot of variety. Yes, they do. That is very doable. I personally know a few who do that. It is doable, but you also want to make sure that it's legally done. Just to be on the safe side. Chiang Mai would also be good. Yes, Chiang Mai to anonymous. I'll just say anonymous. Chiang Mai would also be good. But I've never been to Chiang Mai, and to me, it seems like a very, very touristy location. Pattaya and Krabi are also very touristy locations. So is Koh Samet and Koh Chang. I just don't have a lot of interest in Chiang Mai, me personally, but to each their own. Ed says, and I'm seriously thinking of investing in Thailand, maybe buy a rental property or something. Not a bad idea, Ed. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. In fact, I think that could work out to your benefit, and it would be awesome, to be honest. And I said, if you want a variety of people-oriented things, Bangkok is world-class. For nature stuff, Krabi is best. Can't argue that. Robert says, PayPal to help the channel travel fund. PayPal, me, Nigeria. Yeah, we're really close to what used to be our live stream goal of $100. So that would be really nice. That would cover the trip yesterday. So that would cover 4 pieces of content that you guys are going to get. And that would be nice. But again, it's up to you guys. Anytime anybody spends their hard-earned money contributing to the channel, I don't call it donations because you contribute. It's kind of like an investment you make in content for this channel. I deliver on my promises, and I don't think anybody would argue with that. Thanks for putting that up, Robert. Filtho says, will the members only live chat be held from Nano Plaza again? No, it won't be. Filthos, I'm sorry, bud. But we can talk about Nano Plaza if you want to. Ross said, JC, when you have week off. Can we do a road trip to Chiang Mai? If I have the money, we can. It's coming in April. I'll have 2 weeks off in April, but I have to be really, really financially conscious right now. Because there are two big purchases I need to make. One is I have an iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm going to go ahead and get the iPhone 12 Pro, not the Pro Max, just the Pro. And that's going to change a lot of picture taking ability, a lot of live streaming ability. If you notice, I don't live stream from my phone anymore, and it's because I can't. I mean, it's not because I can't. It's because the phone will not allow. It's just old, and it doesn't have enough RAM to hold the live stream, even if it has good internet connection. There's just a lot of problems with it. So I've got a phone to purchase, and I've got probably $1,500 worth of insurance to buy because I keep my own private insurance while I'm here. And all that's coming up. One's at the end of May, one's at the end of June. So really got to be financially savvy, Ross. But if I have the money, definitely we could take a week up to Chiang Mai for sure. Let's see what comments that I missed here. And I says, it is, you could from a company and rent out an Airbnb. That's an idea. Ross says you need a car to see and do all the things at Chiang Mai. So many waterfalls, steam geysers, hot springs, and other nature stuff along the way. That would be cool. That would really be cool. How much until we reach the goal? We are still $40 away from the goal. 35 or 40, because PayPal takes a little bit of each contribution that comes in. I had a $5 to cover it, so if we get $35, we'll be at the goal for today. That would be awesome. Anon says, I also really, really like Katchenbury as well. I've been there once, and I think that was a pretty good province, I believe. Ross says, as Americans, we have different rules for businesses in Thailand over other countries. That's true. Anon says, the whole province, not just the town. Understood. Stuck in Florida says, northern Katchenbury is one of my most favorite places. Maybe I should check that out. That would probably be cheap too if it's anything that's got north in it. I'm interested in because I'd like to go north for a little bit. Ross agrees with Anon, 100% beautiful area. Stuck in Florida's favorite place as well. Later in the year, yep, that's possible. Anon says, when I come back, I plan to do a drive from Mukdanan to, I'm going to mispronounce this, Loy. I'm just going to say Loy. Filtho says that Ross, don't those different rules kick in with a minimum 200,000 USD investment? That's a good question. Thought we could form a DoMoreLife LLC. Though we could form a DoMoreLife LLC. That's an interesting concept as well, Filthos. I've been thinking about that a lot. Maybe we'll talk about that on the live stream tomorrow. Ross says, Filthos, no rules are in regards to ownership and need for Thai partners. Interesting. Anon says, Irwin Falls, amazing. That name sounds really familiar. Filthos says, yes, that's what I was referring to. Ross, Anon 555, I have a video of Irwin Falls on my channel. Anon, the drive from Mukdanan to Loy goes along the Mekong Scenic. I imagine so. I would like to do, there's a place right now that's so low, the Mekong is so low, somewhere in Thailand, I cannot remember where it was, somewhere up north, that you can walk across it from Thailand to, I believe it was Laos or Cambodia. I can't remember. Laos. Yeah, I think Laos. Don't do that, by the way. Don't do that. don't do that. Don't do that. But I'm just saying, it's the Mekong is low enough in that area right now. I remember reading that in a paper the other day. So we'll wrap it up here, guys. Slowly we'll wrap it up. First, I want to say that, I really hope Thailand comes through and allows people that have had the magic shots and are good to go, have the paperwork and satisfied. Ed, oh my goodness. I hope YouTube doesn't take 50%. Need to set up my PayPal. Yeah, set up your PayPal, bro. YouTube takes 30%. They take 30, but thank you so much, Ed. That's a huge super chat. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Very large super chat. Thank you so much for that. That's a lot of money, and I genuinely appreciate that, Ed. Thank you so much. Contributions like that is what keeps the channel going, keeps me traveling, and most importantly, keeps my spirits up. We've been stuck at 27,000 subscribers for a long time, and we're about to break into 28, and I just want to get to 30. And once I get to 30, I'll feel so much better. So I think the views will come with it as well. Thank you for helping, Ed. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure all of the DoMoreLife family members will thank you as well, because we are a family here on this channel, and we do things in a family orientation. We help each other. You know, you guys help me, and then I do the best to provide whatever it is you guys need. So I'm super grateful for all the contributions today from everyone. And thanks again, Ed. And I would encourage you also, Ed, if you are a fan of the channel and like the videos and like the live streams, by all means, become a channel member. It's a good way to support the channel, and you're going to get to see some really cool stuff, and be a part of the members only live chat, where we can be a little more candid about the things that we want to say and the things that we do. So with that being said, Anon says, yeah, you're talking about non-Kai, Jeremy. Okay, there you go. Ross says, Ed S, YouTube keeps 30. Yep. Autumn says, up by Viente Lao, you can do the walk. I figured there were more than one place. Ross says, Autumn in Asia, I have done 2 of the skywalks, massive tourist trap. Probably. Lyle says, thumbs up on your way out, please. We try for 50 every night. It helps keep the YouTube algorithm going. That's true. So anybody that has not hit the thumbs up button, please do so for the YouTube algorithm. This has definitely been a successful live stream, and I really appreciate you guys coming on and commenting and giving your opinion and assessments of what you think. Because I'm certainly not always right. We know that. Autumn in Asia says, I don't know YouTube took that much. Need to set up PayPal. Yeah, it's easy. Just set up a PayPal account. Real easy. Nothing to it. And PayPal takes 3%. YouTube takes 30%. So there you that's why we typically do PayPal. Stuck in Florida said that should do it. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it for the daily goal for sure. I tend to look at the way, just FYI, so you guys understand what happens. Okay, so when PayPal's come in, they are immediately available. So like one of my next cheap projects is to get some kind of cheap USB mic to do these live streams on, and that money in PayPal I'll use to do that. I'll probably go tomorrow to a mall or something and try to get a mic, or go somewhere and try to get a USB mic, a cheap one. The super chats to come in are not available until the AdSense is released, because they go in with the AdSense, so they don't come in automatically. So the super chats that you see today, I won't get the money for those until the 21st. It'll be the 22nd of March before they come in. So that's just how you kind of know. thanks again. We got another $10 super chat. I mean, another $10 PayPal here. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that very much. But that's just kind of I told you guys that because I want you to know how it works. It didn't come through the email. It just came to PayPal. But that was another 10 anyway. So that's 70 there. And the super chats always help out with AdSense and all that stuff. So I appreciate it, guys. Anyway, it comes in. There's no complaints at all. Love you guys for it. Appreciate it so much. Roger just kicked in 20, so that does the $100 PayPal challenge. Thank you, Roger, and thank you, everybody. There's the Rogers came right through. I don't know why the other one didn't, but Roger McGee, $20 PayPal. Thank you, Roger. Love you for it, bro. Appreciate it, man. You guys have made this YouTuber's day, and I just appreciate that very, very, very much. Really, that definitely did it. Stuck in Florida. Hey, Ben Newton. What's going on, bud? Good to see you. Filto says, hey, have the trolls given up on you? Haven't seen much of them lately. They never give up on me. They just talk about me on other channels now. But that's okay. The fact that I rent that much space in their head is, you have no idea how full my heart is when I think about that. I still rent space in these trolls' head. Filtho says, or maybe the mods are just that good. The mods are very good. The mods on this channel are excellent, wonderful, superhuman beings, which I trust implicitly. So my mods are fantastic, and I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for that. Stuck says that, yeah, so that was Stuck that contributed that. He says that was to cover the 30% for the super chat. I love you, man. Thank you for doing that so much. You didn't have to. Nobody has to do that, but thank you so much for doing that. I really genuinely appreciate that, Stuck. And of course, Ed and everybody else that contributed. I'll go through the list here in a minute. Actually, I'm not going to go through the list. I'm just going to say that everybody that has contributed has made a huge impact on the DoMoreLife channel now. Certainly it was needed, and hopefully it will continue. And I'm going to continue to bring you awesome content. And like I said, it's a contribution. It's like an investment. It's not a donation. You're not donating to anybody. You're not paying my power bills or my food or anything like that. All goes to the channel, bro. All goes to the channel. Autumn understands. JE says, great stream, JC. Keep the chin up. We'll get 30K soon. Enjoy the ride. Great to see the DoMoreLife community continuing to grow due to great streams content. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that comment. Really appreciate it. Ramjet, hey, buddy. Great to see you again. Ramjet, where you been? I haven't seen you in forever, man. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Jay says, great to see the DoMoreLife community continue to grow since the beginning of this journey. Yes, Jay's been around a long time, and I really appreciate you hanging around, man. Really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you hadn't already. The YouTube algorithm really likes that stuff. And so in closing, I'll say that we're looking forward to Thailand eventually reopening the borders for international tourism. If you have the magic shot, that's what this live chat was originally about. And of course, we get sidetracked and all that stuff. Ben Newton says, I like the old JC videos. I've been watching 3 years now. Well, I change with time, bro, just like everything else. So I do my best. Mark says, great chat. Thank you, Mark. And all you guys are always the channel membership. You don't have to be on a live stream to get one. Anytime you go to any of my videos or my channel, you can join to be a channel member, and you will then be eligible for all the content that channel members get. So that's just another little tidbit of information. I want to sincerely thank all of you guys that contributed monetarily today. Thank you so much for putting your hard-earned money into the content of this channel. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Jay says, if you haven't been to Thailand yet, or even if you have, watched JC's lessons on what not to do in Pattaya. There's a whole series on that, and I'm actually going to add, I will add one video to that that I recorded yesterday when I was there. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good week of content, and we're going to have a members only live stream tomorrow at 8 a.m. Bangkok time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Then we'll have this live stream right after that, which should be at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. tomorrow, regular live stream time. I'm going to set those up. And I can't say thank you enough to you guys for just making this awesome live stream. I hope you got a lot of value out of the content. I love you all very much. Thank you to the DoMoreLife community for always sticking by. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Whatever you do today, be sure you do more life. Later, guys.